Busy day. How are you?
Call the meeting of the Marquette County Board of Commissioners to order. Excuse Commissioner Nadine and Hill. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes of the following County Board of Commissioners meeting, the regular meeting held on February 4th, 2020. The pleasure.
Approve the minutes as presented. Support.
Moved by Commissioner DePietro, supported by Commissioner Adamini. Questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No proclamations, presentations, or awards.
Could we go back to the minutes?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I should have spoke, but on page 3, there was a motion made, and it says it was 4-0, adopted 4-0. It's actually 4-1 because Commissioner Nordine had voted no.
She had it later, is there?
Oh,
She had it later this day, no.
she did? But did you have it corrected earlier?
I got an email on it earlier.
Oh, email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
So that was corrected?
any objections from
Thank
the board to accept that as part of the minutes?
Motion to
4-1
accept.
vote. Okay. Next, approval of the agenda. With the permission of the board, I'd like to add 11A, Marquette County Community Foundation partnership with Marquette County.
Motion to approve with the added item 11A.
Motion by Commissioner
Support.
Gross, supported by Commissioner Alholm. Comments or questions on the agenda? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comment? Anyone wishing to address the board, please come forward, state your name and address, and you may speak. Public comment?
Good evening. This is on red. Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay. My name is Margaret Brum. I live at 404 East Magnetic Street. I'm here for 3 reasons tonight. One is to introduce myself to the board. I was born and raised in Marquette, and my dad was Bobo Brum, the teacher at Nagani. My uncle was Okie Brum, who was on the city commission. And my grandfather was Ike Brum, whose name was on most of the construction projects in Marquette County for about 30 years. I myself am by training a chemical engineer out of Michigan Tech and a lawyer out of the University of Michigan. I'm also a registered United States patent attorney. I live in Marquette with my 92-year-old mother, and I work for global corporations out of sitting in my mother's kitchen table. So I'm in town, and I've been involved in the city situation, running for office, learning about the city, and this is my first foray into the county, and I wanted to introduce myself for 2 reasons today. Number one, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Cliffs Dow property, which is on the edge of Lake Superior, I went looking for a book on that earlier last year to give to one of the new city commissioners who wasn't familiar, and I didn't find one. So I created my own presentation, and I've given it 3 times, and it's been very well received. And I now have added to it with some additional video from the state that has the pictures of the underwater water pipe that they had. So if anything comes up about Cliffs Dow and you're looking for factual information, come see me. I'm available. I'm on Facebook. People can reach me. My presentation lasts about an hour and 20 minutes. It's been well received the 3 times I've given it, and I keep adding to it. I've done Freedom of Information Act requests with the state, with the city. I've been to Northern's archives. I've been to Peter White Public Library archives. I've been to the Michigan Marquette Regional Historical Society. I've talked to people all over town who have reminisced with me about Cliffs Dow. So if you're looking for any comment on Cliffs Dow, I'm the person, okay? I never thought I'd be wearing a badge saying, ask me about Cliffs Dow, but that's it. And eventually I hope to put this in written form so that it can be at the Peter White Public Library so anybody can access, but it's my presentation is online on YouTube along with the video of the underground water pipe, along with some other videos I've taken at the site. So it's all free, and it's all available if you want it. The third issue I'm here to talk to you about is one of my goals for Marquette and the surrounding area is to educate people that we have wonderful natural resources, but I don't have to talk about them because everyone else is. We also are full of really smart, brainy people who are inventing like crazy. I noticed in your minutes last month you talked about organics. Well, I met the inventors from organics, and I used them in my presentation last year talking about Upper Peninsula inventors. Nobody knows organics exists, but it's a world player in polyurethane parts. You also have RTI, which is the medical device company in the industrial park in Marquette. And there's also a long, long history in Marquette County of inventors going out into the world and getting the Nobel Prize and changing the way airplanes are designed. And I'm doing everything in my power to keep the people aware of we have brains and beauty. And the beauty is easy. The pictures are everywhere, but the brains, part of my goal this year is to do a Marquette County Inventors celebration at the Peter White Public Library. And it'll be scheduled for sometime in early summer or midsummer at the library. And when I get the meeting room and the day scheduled, I'm going to write to you and to the city and ask for a proclamation endorsing the idea that Marquette County is an inventor's paradise as well. Because I have more than enough evidence. We have really smart people in the past, and I have really smart people right now inventing their guts out. It's just not a part of, I don't know if you understand, but the UP dog sled race, they invent every year different types of ways of dealing with dog harnesses, the dog equipment that they use. All of that is inventions that came out of sled dog racing that goes all over the world. And so you're going to hear from me, and when you get that proclamation, it's because I'm a patent attorney. I'm a registered United States patent attorney. And I want people to think of my hometown and my home area as beautiful and brilliant. So when you get that letter, that's where it's coming from. So I've completed I've introduced myself. I've reminded you about Cliff's Dow, lots of good information that's easily accessible, and you'll be getting a letter from me when I get the day and time asking for a proclamation, Marquette County Inventors Day, and there'll be more than enough inventors named. And I've given speeches last summer at Peter White Public Library, and they were very well attended, and a lot of people had inventors in their family that came from this area, and they were delighted that somebody was paying attention. So that's where I'm coming from. I just didn't want you to get the letter and wonder what's going on there, okay?
Thank you for all your good stuff you're doing.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the chance to talk to you. Thank you.
Public comment? Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Next, review of claims and accounts, expenditures of the period January 31, 2020 through February 13th, $834,858.92. Biweekly payroll for the period ending February 8th, 2020 was $671,958.34. Motion to approve would be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support. Questions on any bills? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The last check, 197857 dated 2/14/2020, $140.46, payable to Elger Delta Co-op Electric. Commissioner Alholm abstains, she's on the board, so motion
Motion to approve.
Support.
moved by Commissioner DePietro, supported by Commissioner DeRosa. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No public hearings or privileged comment, informational items, correspondence from Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Semco Energy, notice of hearing, United States Coast Guard State Historical Preservation Section 106, correspondence from Sarah Tambenzi, annual report on land bank and brownfields. Motion to accept for file and accept comment would be in order.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Alholm. Have the support?
Support.
Mr. DePietro. I guess correspondence from the governor was thanking me for my note that I sent her. I thanked her for putting the county items, back in the budget, which would have taken 800,000 from Marquette County, and I wrote a note to her and thanked her, and she responded.
And I think the record should reflect that it was a personally written, note, not typewritten by
Yes, it was,
some subordinate in the office, and I recognized her handwriting and her signature, so I can attest to that.
she's been very accessible to Marquette County and been good to work with, so it's very good. I guess, next, I guess on the, I have some questions, I guess, or comments on the land bank, which Ann has been working with for about a decade, right? Anyway, I think there's some very interesting things that have happened, especially on the west end of the county particularly. And I see the one on the Jasper Light Senior Housing, which is in Old Bell Hospital, that's supposed to be completed this summer.
That's my understanding, yes, and the Brownfield Authority basically acted as an applicant to, access, Eagle, formerly the EQ funds, for some environmental work that they needed to do on the site. So it's nice to have the tools to be able to help these developments.
That would bring about 36 senior living quarters, which is good on the west end, and some of the other ones I know, that was very important in the city of Nagani is the Tea Lake Senior Living Community, which is really an asset to the west end, and that's the West District and School, Spring Street, I see it's sold on 379 properties.
Yes, and Habitat should be building another house this summer on that site. So it's close to being built out.
Took down nicely in the old school, and now we have, what, 10 properties approximately on there, so it's my neck of the woods, and I appreciated what you did on some of these projects. It's big time stuff. Johnny, did you have some comments on 9C?
I checked, it seemed like it's well reserved, received by people up in Powell Township area, and that had no issues with it. Looks like this would be a good thing for that area, so.
Motion and support. Any other comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action items 10A, Treasurer's Annual Report. We'll cross that one off. You'll be at a future meeting to give us a report. We move on 10B, 2019 final year-end budget amendments. And you want to comment on it?
Yeah, Sue and I worked on these together, and there's really not anything overly exciting. Sue brought a budget amendment to the board, I want to say a month and a half to 2 months ago, that cleaned up a lot of items in the 2019 budget. So these are just some small, minor line item adjustments to get ready for our audit report for 2019. The only increase really to the general fund was for a grant in the prosecutor's office. Otherwise, it's really just a lot of line item adjustments within the funds.
This motion to approve would be in order.
I would move to approve the amendment.
Motion by Commissioner Allen,
Support.
supported by Commissioner DePietro. I guess the thing that stood out, and I guess it's been that way for 15 plus years, as long as Sue's been working on the budget with Scott and the rest of the staff, came within 0.3% at the end of the year compared to where she projected it to be when we started. So this has been an ongoing thing as long as she's been the treasurer, anywhere from 0.5% to 1.5% or 2% at the most within what she projected the budget to be, so, she gets credit and I give the board credit for keeping the spending in line, within it. That's equally important, so between her good work and putting a good budget out there and the board having the discipline to live with it, it's a very good sign, so, just wanted to note that. I guess, we need a roll call vote.
Commissioner Alholm,
Aye. Yes.
Commissioner DePietro,
Yes.
Commissioner DeRosa,
Yes.
Commissioner Adamini,
Yes.
Chairperson Corcoran.
Yes. Next, we have a resolution requesting Great Lakes shoreline to be declared a disaster area and seek assistance. This is something that I asked Scott and staff to work on. It's come to my attention in following what's been going on around the Great Lakes there over the last few months and what's happened in the city of Marquette, and I thought this is an issue that needs to be addressed, and I know that the County of Menominee has been talking to them, and they're very interested in it, and what it boils down to is there's been hundreds of millions, probably into the billions, of infrastructure that have been destroyed around the Great Lakes in local communities, and they've been, take the city of Marquette over the last decade, I don't know exactly what their figure is, but it's probably in the 7 figures trying to make repairs over there, keep the road going, and now they have to move it, and it's gonna cost them up to, I guess, they say $7 million for the relocation of the road. And you read in the paper about what's going on in Traverse City and many other places in the state, so we talked about putting a resolution together requesting declare a disaster area to seek assistance. Now I know the state has put together a $40 million budget to assist, which everything helps, but when you're talking in, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, it needs more than what the state can possibly come up with. So this resolution would request help from the federal government. Now I'll read it. It says, whereas record high water levels in the Great Lakes have contributed to ongoing shoreline erosion across the state of Michigan, and whereas Lake Superior water levels have caused severe damage to public infrastructure in the city of Marquette, whereas Lake Superior water levels are forcing the relocation of Lakeshore Boulevard in the city of Marquette, which is costing in excess $7 million for the relocation of the road and compromised public infrastructure. Whereas Lake Superior water levels are causing detrimental environmental impacts at other various industrial legacy sites along the shoreline, whereas the County of Marquette recognized the effects of storms, high water, and wind-driven water action that is causing severe erosion to the shoreline infrastructure and private property along the Great Lakes, and whereas the conditions of the Great Lakes shoreline directly affect business and tourism in Marquette County and the state of Michigan by limiting access to beaches, boat landings, and parks along the shoreline, and lost and damaged property directly affects the local county and state tax base. And whereas Marquette County, as well as other shoreline communities in the state of Michigan, are desperate in need of additional resources to combat shoreline erosion and protection of natural resources, therefore be it resolved that the Marquette County Board of Commissioners request the governor of the state of Michigan with the state legislature declare the shoreline of the Great Lakes, the state of Michigan, a disaster area, that the governor and state legislatures seek assistance from Congress and the President of the United States of America for this devastating situation, which has an impact statewide. Be it therefore further resolved that a copy of the resolution be sent Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Senator Ed McBroom, Representative LaFave, Representative at the federal level Bergman, Senator Stabenow, and Senator Gary Peters, as well as Representative Benzie and Representative Mickinen from the UP. So I entertain a motion to consider.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Adamini, supported by Commissioner Alholm. I think if you've been following Marquette over the last decade, you see the money they've spent trying to deal with it. So, I mean, the local effort has been there, but it's now reached such a high point in damage that they need some help along with all these other communities. So that, I guess, is the gist of the whole thing. I mean, they always say when the local effort, you know, is not enough to deal with something, then we need to get some aid from the feds or the state. Well, it's reached that point in many communities in the state. So, any other comments?
Chairman, are we going to pursue other counties throughout the Upper Peninsula to follow suit?
Sending it to all 83, but Menominee has already taken some action, I know that, but I don't know how many others have, but we'll send it to all 83 counties. I think we'll get strong support because many, you know, there's double figures in the counties that are suffering, in particular the cities and townships and so forth.
One of the things, Mr. Chairman, is according to the media, talking, interviewing Great Lakes Association, they're predicting that the water level will even be higher this year after the meltdown, so.
They're predicting a rise of 1.5 feet higher than it is right now.
Exactly, and so all 83 counties in Michigan are going to need as much help as they can get, so we've got to get everybody on board with us. Thank you.
Comments? Please take the roll call, please.
Commissioner Adamini?
Yes.
Commissioner Alholm?
Yes.
Commissioner DePietro?
Yes.
Commissioner DeRosa?
Yes.
Chairperson Corcoran?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Next, building codes, vehicle bids, and we have 4 bids here. Fontaine is at $23,528. Jurgensen Ford Sales at $25,888. Watson Benzie Chrysler Dodge Jeep is at $24,864, and Marcel Buick GMC Cadillac is at $27,468.27. So the recommendation is of the low bid are $23,528.
Motion to approve and follow staff's recommendation for the low bid. And I see there were was only one local, and there's a difference of almost $4,000 in that, so I motion to go with the low bid.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner DeRosa, supported by Commissioner Adamini. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hangar 665 apron reconstruction professional engineering. Here we have the background. It says Sawyer staff is looking for Marquette County Board to approval to move forward with the professional services agreement with Mead and Hunt on the apron improvement. The replacement of the larger apron is necessary. Support for the ERJ 175's aircraft staff was successful with submission for an MNARD grant through the state of Michigan for $100,000. So that cuts off to $322,108 total price, brings it down to $222, and that's a cost that we're responsible for. If you remember when we went ahead with the hangar expansion, that we're responsible for that out of the airport fund. So the I guess the engineering part of it is $20,280, and it's been approved by the state aeronautics. So I guess motion to approve and authorize Mead and Hunt to do the work for $20,280.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Arnold, supported by Commissioner DePietro. Comments or questions? Anything you want to say on it, Scott?
No, thank you for your consideration. This is just helping move this project forward, and it's a big project that we have. And one additional comment on top of that is we are also pursuing additional funding through MEDC to help offset some of the remaining costs.
Just for the people that aren't aware of the hangar expansion, you want to talk a little bit about why we're doing that?
The hangar expansion project? Sure. One of the things that we've been finding for American Airlines out at Sawyer, they're reducing the number of smaller planes that they're going to be working on, hence moving in larger aircraft. And to be able to allow them to continue to work out at KI Sawyer with a larger aircraft, we need a higher door at the hangars. So we needed to put an expansion on at least one of the hangars to allow them to continue to have dock planes at KI Sawyer. So the county several years ago started pursuing military airport program funding to seek a grant to do an extension on the front, which will allow us to enclose the airplane within the hangar, but allow it to actually be fully inside with the door height for the tails. That would make sense for the future. So funding was received for hangar 665. Total project is going to be a little over $13 million for that. That will allow us to have larger aircraft inside there, thus helping retain over the long haul American as they start moving to the larger aircraft. So that's a short version of what we're doing with it. This project, the ramp component is just one portion of it, but most importantly, it allows us to have larger hangars, and which are going to be used by American Eagle to continue to work on the aircraft out there.
Motion and a support, Steve?
A great bulk and percentage of the cost of the $13 million is going to be paid by the federal government, is that correct?
That's correct. We have our exposure and the state's exposure based on the original estimates was about 800+ thousand each for the state and for the county, with the bulk of that coming from we believe will be reimbursed for passenger facility charges for our component of it, and the state has agreed to contribute their component of it up to about $860,000. The rest would come from the federal government.
It's about $12 million or so from the feds.
That's correct.
Motion and a support. Further comments?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have a letter here opposing a Senate Bill 431.
You lost one, Jer.
Just skip
Airport snowblower.
Oh, I'm sorry.
take that as an approval.
We have airport snow blower repair. It says early in the winter season, one of the primary Oshkosh snow blowers developed an issue with engaging the auger portion of the unit. Staff was unsuccessful in diagnosing the problem and requested assistance from the local Oshkosh dealer Industrial Marketing. Industrial Marketing diagnosed a drop-down gearbox with potentially the input shaft bearing and possibly a clutch. The repair is beyond the capabilities of the airport staff or the local Oshkosh dealer, so they went out and built some bids to heavy equipment repair shops, and they went to Crossroads Truck Repair. After completing review, they declined the job. Miller, Bradford, Risper, $19,740.69, and Road Machinery and Supplier Company, $24,840.18. And staff is recommending the low bid from Miller, Bradford, and Risper in about $19,740.69.
I move to approve the recommendation.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, supported by Commissioner DePietro. Questions or comments?
Comment as far as Miller Bradford, their expertise in this kind of equipment, and they're right in the Nagani city, Nagani Township area on Highway 41. So it's a perfect fit. That equipment doesn't have to be moved very far. So it's going to be all a win-win situation for both K.I. Sawyer, for the blower, and for Miller Branford to receive this bid. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with everything that Commissioner Petro has said, but I note that both bidders are local. One, I don't know if it's in the city limits or in Nagani Township, but Miller Bradfield is clearly in the township. So it's strange on something complicated like this to have both of the only bids coming from the locals. It's a good sign.
Motion and support, any other comments?
I just had a question. The Miller Bradford said that did not include freight, that the road machinery did not indicate anything one way or the other. So, is there any likelihood that freight's gonna exceed $5,000, or probably not, but?
I understand what you have is the cost, and I can double check on that if you give it approval, if it's not gonna exceed the bid today, and if that's gonna be the case, then we could look differently, but, and award it to the next lowest, but I'm not aware that that's gonna be a problem at this point.
Okay.
Other comments? Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? G is a letter opposing Senate Bill 431. On behalf of the Marquette County Board of Commissioners, I'd like to state that Marquette County opposes Senate Bill 431. Senate Bill 431 as written, community planning and zoning is administered at the local level. We find this level of government best suited to determine the needs and desires of our community. If passed, Senate Bill 431 would remove local government zoning authority and oversight capabilities, preempting township regulation for sand and gravel mining operations regardless of where it is located or the impact on nearby residents. Further concerns are the unavoidable risks to public health, safety, and welfare akin to the Michigan Township Association. The County of Marquette believes local government must maintain its already limited authority regarding mineral operations and best equipped to balance the needs of residents with the impact of mining operations. So this was reviewed by the planners, and if you look at Tara's response there, it says that she reviewed it, and from a planning perspective, it is a significant concern. Further removal of local control for natural resources extraction, land use, and I guess my experience in government, the best government is the one closest to the people, and they should have something to say about these kinds of issues. Motion to consider.
Motion to consider, motion to approve signing.
Support.
Any other comments? I'll send it down to all the legislators and the governor's office, because they're trying to bull rush this through the Senate. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Spring Senior Center construction letter of support. This has to do with seeking funding for the new Spring Senior Center. It's on behalf of the Marquette County Board of Commissioners. I would like to extend the county board's support for the city of Ishpeming and the Greater Ishpeming Commission on Aging a proposal for the construction of the new Ishpeming Multi-Purpose Center. Marquette County Board strives to make sure that senior residents receive services that enhance the quality of their lives. The county provides funding through our Commission on Aging for services to all of the communities here in Marquette County. So the Marquette County Board of Commissioners strongly believes a new Ishpeming multi-purpose senior center would be a tremendous asset to the west end of Marquette County. And the facility will ensure that services will be well served in the future. Motion to.
I will move to send the letter, but well, we can support. I so move.
Second.
My one question is, the letter is addressed to the Greater Improvement Commission on Aging, but our letter body, it supports both the city of Ishpeming and the Commission on Aging. Should we not send it to the city of Ishpeming as well?
Yeah, we could.
My motion would include to also send it to the city of Ishpeming.
Very good suggestion. Motion and support. An important project for the city that we're presently in the Phelps School in the lower level, which works out good for them as far as the facility, but parking is a real issue for older people to get in and out. It's a big drawback. It's too bad because it's really a nice place for people to be able to use. Motion and support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Professional engineering agreement for runway liquid de-icer storage container. This here says, in order to provide Marquette County travelers with safe and reliable airport during the winter months, Sawyer International Airport continues to look to improve snow and ice removal resources. A bulk liquid storage tank that allows the ability to purchase a bulk liquid runway de-icing fluid has been added to the airport improvement program plan. Staff has submitted the pre-application and moving into the next step of the complete grant process. So staff is looking for the county board the approval to pre-fund the engineering and design part of the project and will submit for reimbursement after the grant is awarded. The engineering comprised of several factors: the design of the concrete, electrical, and plumbing. The tank placement will be located in the exterior of the airport services center and plumbed into the interior of the building to service the liquid spreader. So the engineering cost for the project is $35,921, and they're looking to have it pre-funded, and they will recapture the money with the grant, right?
With passenger facility charge fund, correct.
Move to accept staff recommendation.
Support.
Moved and support, Steve.
My one question is if we don't get the grant, we're out that money, right?
That's correct, but we're confident we'll receive, but you are correct.
Yeah,
There's always that chance.
right. And I believe the chances are almost 100%.
They supported the purchase of the vehicle already, which is on order, that will use that liquid, so we're hopeful that they will continue to support it.
If not, there'll be a lot of angry people here.
We have a motion and a support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, commercial terminal upgrades lease agreement, AT&T 5G. Scott, you want to comment on it?
Quickly, AT&T approached the airport staff, that being Dwayne, about the potential of installing 5G network in the terminal for our passengers to use. And in doing so, they'll provide 5G at no cost to us, and they'll pay us $100 per year to lease a small amount of space in one of our utility closets to house the equipment. We think it's a win-win for everybody here. We get some 5G at the airport. We don't see a lot of that around here yet. And we'll make a tiny bit of money, might offset the electrical cost, but a win for our passengers. So we recommend the board's approval of this. It's a 10-year license agreement.
Motion to approve brings us improvement in the communication at the airport building and $100 a year for a little closet.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner DePietro, supported by Commissioner Alholm.
My one question is, does this only, help users of AT&T cell phones?
That's what, Mr. DeRay wrote on there, but I'm not sure that's fully the case. I mean, most networks have it available for other users that are capable of accepting 5G, so I don't have your answer completely, and we can find that out.
Even if it is, it's providing a service to some people.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Community corrections bylaw changes, Johnny, you want to talk about that one?
Right, due to me serving on the Marquette County Correction Advisory Board, these are to be updated as often as necessary, and this is one of the times that we need to upgrade it with the Commission, Marquette County Commission approval. The lady sitting next to me is also on the board, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. So anyways, this year will bring it up into the 21st century as far as adjustments go. And yes, we do need 2 more members on our board, so this is why we're asking for this minor
Want to make a
increase.
motion on that?
Pardon?
Would you make a motion, sir?
I'm making a motion right now to approve this.
Support.
Okay, I'll read you exactly what it is. The Community Corrections Advisory Board voted unanimously to recommend changing bylaws on membership. The motion was made to add 1 more person as a representative of the general public. And the Community Corrections Advisory Board also wanted to list a member specifically from the area of employment and training, as it is a state requirement to have a member from Michigan Works. These adjustments will increase board membership from 13 to 15, which also requires the adjustment to the quorum members from 7 to 8. In addition, there is a mere edit under the meeting section. So those are the specific changes that they're recommending. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, delayed edition, Marquette County Community Foundation Partnership.
I defer to Tara, she's here.
Okay.
So close today. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm pleased to be here tonight to tell you guys about a partnership with Marquette County Planning and the Community Foundation of Marquette County. Planning is in the process of overhauling the county's master plan. It's a lengthy process. We're doing it in-house with not much of a budget. And fortunately, we have been in communications with the Community Foundation of Marquette County, who recently received a grant from Flag Star to carry on some of their dialogue dinner meetings that they've been having. And instead of them continuing those, they'd like county planning to take that under our wing and host 4 to 6 of these community meetings throughout the county. This matches perfectly with what our planning efforts are with the master plan, which is to host 4 region rallies coming up this spring and into the summer. And we'll be able to use these funds to advertise better, actually have some food and drink, great material for the meetings. I'd like to let you guys know that the first one is April 16th, and that is at Jersey's 41. That's our Moose Hills region. The second region rally will be at, in our Blueberry Farms region, which is Thursday, April 30th at the Little Lake American Legion. The Iron Core, that's going to be at the River Rock Lanes in Ishpeming on May 21st. And the final one is Borealis Beach, which will be hosted at Barrel and Beam on July 14th. And I hope to see the commissioners at these meetings too, but you'll be hearing a lot of, information through advertising and that kind of stuff as we get closer to the dates. But does anyone have any questions?
I just want to state that your department's really been doing a great job on this master plan update. They've had surveys, they've met with all the local units, planning commissions, and now we're at step what, 3, 4?
It's a good question.
It seems like a step 100 to you, but I'm going to move that we enter this agreement.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, supported by Commissioner Adamini, to authorize the chairperson to sign the agreement for consulting services to Marquette Community Foundation with planning department. We have a motion of support. And thank you for your review of the Senate bill also.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Public comment? Public comment? Public comment? Commissioner comments, here, I guess, the busy weekend in Marquette County with all the outdoor activities, and dog races, and bike races, and any other events going on, so there's a lot of activities for the winter season, which is good to see, I guess, for the businesses in Marquette County.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With the UP 200 held this weekend, I'd like to congratulate the UP 200 winner, Musher Ryan Anderson from Cushing, Wisconsin. With his win, he had set a record for winning this race 8 times out of 30 races, and that's quite a record for Musher and his team. Also, congratulations to Joanne Fortner by winning the Midnight Run. Joanne's husband Larry arrived in 2nd place. They're from Gaylord, Michigan. And just a reminder, the Pigs in Heat hockey game fundraisers on Wednesday, March 11th at the Lakeview Arena. The money raised will assist families that had a structure fire. The funds will help put them up at a hotel, motel for a period of time and assist them for their expenses for food, lodging, clothing. Tickets are $1 each and can be purchased at your local fire or police department. I ask my fellow commissioners and residents to please support this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Staff comments? I guess one thing is we haven't talked about it, but the launch initiative for the horizontal, they picked Scotia in Lower Michigan, which wasn't a big surprise to me, at least. I don't think anybody else. They have obviously a pretty good facility there, but they also are Lower Michigan, and they have a lot of political clout compared to the UP, and that always doesn't hurt in these kinds of things that go on. Anyway, there's still the vertical, which is equally or more important one, as well as the operational center decisions that have to be made in the upcoming months. So there's a site in our county that's being strongly looked at, and maybe we'll be lucky here and get something positive in the future.
Do we have a date on when they're going to announce the vertical launch?
Gavin from Aerospace Manufacturers Association indicated March, possibly